nicht vergesse. Also dürft ihr jetzt nichts Unanständiges sagen, weil
Ja, alles klar.
schneiden wir sowieso, den Anfang schneiden wir. Aber wo war denn jetzt das YouTube gehen? Das Facebook gehen? Ah, hier live auf Facebook.
Und dann Record.
Nee, Record hat sie schon. Sie muss nur
Live auf Facebook und dann gebe ich das jetzt schon mal ein, ne?
Ja, auf die Webseite, ja.
In
Aber
deiner
sobald du es machst,
Chronik,
musst du
das
dann
will ich
einmal-
nicht, in einer Gruppe.
Du
Gruppenname.
Du kannst auch auswählen, ob es eine Seite oder Gruppe ist, was du haben möchtest.
Ah, meine Gruppe habe ich da noch gar nicht drin. Das muss mir dann der Oma gleich machen, dass wir auf die Gruppe können.
Okay.
Und dann gehe ich jetzt mal drauf, weil das ist jetzt sowieso 8. Ich muss noch live gehen. Drücken. Hello and good evening to today's session. Today I will show you a distinction which is very helpful in communication with men and women. Hello and good evening and welcome. My name is Regina Swoboda-Isanovic and I'm a coach and trainer and an expert in communication between men and women. And if you know the distinctions between men and women in behavior, it's much easier to get along very well, because people who don't know how men think and react, women who don't know how men think and react, they open a space for misunderstanding and the other way around. So today's topic is a little tiny distinction which helps you a lot in your relationship and also in all other communication, whether in your private life or in business. Yeah, and as always, if you're here, type in who you are. And if you have questions along the session, please also type them in, because in the end, as usual, I will answer them. Okay. So one distinction is men wants to be accepted, while women wants to be understood. Sounds quite similar, doesn't it? And man wants to be accepted means man wants to be okay as they are. And they love it if women let them be okay with their good sides and their good qualities, but also with their little tiny mistakes. They want to be okay as they are. And women want to be understood. So this is a little difference. Women wants to that the other person whom they are talking to understands them and give them the feeling to be understood. So this is very important for women. Of course, everybody wants to be understood, and also men wants to be understood, and women also wants to be okay as they are. But still, for women, it's more important that the relationship is okay and they feel understood and heard, maybe because we like to talk, and men wants to feel okay as they are. So if men don't have the feeling that they are okay, they, I told that in one session before, they withdraw in their cage, whether the cage is the garage or a soccer place, or drinking a beer with a friend who let them be okay. But if they don't have the feeling that they are okay, and even worse, if they have the feeling that whatever they do, they're not okay and it's never enough, they get mad and they withdraw. And if women don't have the feeling they are heard by the men, they start to even talk more and more and more, and talk so much until the man will hear them. But of course, if the man is not trained to give her the feeling to be heard, he can't give her the feeling that he understands her, and then she will continue explaining again and again, and the man close their ears and don't listen to her anymore. Okay, and how this will show up in real life, we will see in a funny video. This is kind of funny, and yeah, it's kind of a joke, but still, I'm curious if you recognize yourself, if you are a man or if you are a woman, if you recognize situations you know already. Okay, so I will show you the film. Wait a moment.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me. And I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head. And it's relentless. And I don't know if it's gonna stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever gonna stop.
You do have a nail head.
It's not.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there.
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not.
Okay, I stop it here. Yeah, as you know, men are very practical, and this man just see where the problem is and wants to offer a solution. And the woman wants to talk about it. And now we look how it goes on.
Fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing.
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail.
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like, there's this achy, I don't know what it is. But I'm not sleeping very well at all. Now my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
Sounds pretty hard.
Isn't it funny? He saw what the solution could be, but she just wanted to talk about it because women sometimes get clear about the problem while we talk about it to somebody else, and then we find the solution ourselves, or we open up to a recommendation or to an advice. And all what she wanted to get is him to listen to her. And the moment he just listened, she was so happy and thankful. Now we will see how the story go on.
Ow!
Come on. If you would just
Don't.
try to see things my way, do I have to keep on begging till I
Yeah. Okay.
There you are.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, so in today's live, I have two guests to help me show you how you could deal with such a situation. And I want to introduce my guests.
Would you like me to introduce myself?
Ja, ich wollte mal schauen, sieht man euch auf dem Video?
Well, I see myself and I see Mr. von Polens and I see you.
Okay, great. Okay, yes, I have Alexandra here and Nikolai to play both roles. And if you start, Alexandra, to say a sentence about a short introduction, and Nikolai also, so please go on.
Okay, I will. My name is. You would like me to introduce myself? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
shortly.
Absolutely. Yes. My name is Alexandra von Hahn, and I live in Germany. Lived many years, about 30 years abroad, and I came back about 3.5 years ago. And I'm working as a live cook. I have lots of live cooking shows on Facebook and Instagram, and this is what I do. You're a coach, and I'm a food coach.
Great, and I can tell you make wonderful cooking, and for the eye and also for the taste.
It's lovely. I love it.
And hello, and thank you, Nikolai, for being here tonight. And would you also introduce you shortly?
Yes. Hi, I'm Nikolai. I live in Germany, and I recently finished my master's last year, and I'm currently applying for different jobs in Germany. And yes, I'm glad to be here, part of the session today.
Oh, great. I'm very thankful that you helped me tonight. That's great. And I've seen you laughing. How did you like the video, Nikolai?
I must say it's a fantastic video. It's very hilarious, very funny, and also addresses the issues at the core very specifically. Is the man wants to fix it, wants to basically just pull out the nail as soon as possible, and the female needs time to process that she has to take out the nail, but wants to be listened to first, or wants to have the feeling that she's being heard or understood, or that the male also sees, okay, this is how I see it. Okay, good. That's how I view it. But it brings it to the point, I guess, the miscommunication between men and females.
Yeah, absolutely. I always have to laugh at, but I know the video, but every time I have to laugh. And as you said it, you brought it to the point. Men are logical and they don't want to spend time about speaking and talking and feelings and so on. And they just want to go forward and fix it. Yeah, but if that happens, as I know in my own experience, if my man act like this and he is very solution orientated, I feel like, oh, I don't want to have a solution and I don't want to get an advice. I want to feel understood and I want to talk about it. And I didn't even ask him about a solution. And I didn't ask for an advice. And this is very interesting. And if I don't value him and acknowledge him for giving me advice, then he doesn't feel accepted and get mad. So I know this from my private life also. Yeah. And Alexandra, do you also know this behavior?
Yes, I do. In fact, Regina, um, I fully agree with the film that you showed. It's an experience that unfortunately I keep falling into that trap. And I must admit that most of the women with whom I worked with when I was a coach, a life coach before, or even as a cook coach, um, it seems, and that I'm including myself, absolutely, that we like the intensity of the drama. And I don't mean going crazy drama because that's going a bit overboard. I'm just saying that if we want to be understood by the man, we need a bit of drama. And so, and especially women like myself, and we are emotional and we like to describe things and we are a little bit loud and we have these emotional words in that concoction of being understood or wanting to be understood. um, there is that incredible call for or attraction, at least for me and many other women, to have that intensity and that drama. The poor man feels completely lost and thinks, oh my God, she's now going against me. I have to defend myself. And that is exactly what I get. And if I still have maybe a minute or two, I can give you a perfect example if you wish. Is that okay?
Yes, a good idea.
We have, he's not mine. We know an architect, and my husband hired the architect a long time ago to design his house and to construct the house and so on. However, we've had a third flood, and it's being repaired and it's being constructed. Our house, our basement. Currently, this is a new issue. And when I have to deal with the architect, he maintains that I am always wrong. And that if I want the doors in, well, I have to wait. I said, no, I can't wait. We've been waiting now for a year and a half. We're living in a house without doors. And to him, to the architect, it seems totally normal. It's perfectly all right. At one point, the doors will be there. But it's my problem that I have an issue with the temperature in the room. So I feel that I have to make a drama. And since I can't scream at him, or I feel I shouldn't be screaming at him, it's a drama nevertheless. However, the solution, after almost a year and a half, I called Nikolai. I said, Nikolai, could you please take over? So Nikolai goes to the architect and speaks to the architect. The architect is now coming with doors. So there is that battle of the sexes. I'm sure that if I had handled the architect differently, I may have received the doors a while ago, because we've been using the washroom, the bedrooms, the living room, and all other doors, rooms without doors. So does it take a man to communicate in short sentences? Bring the doors, and they have to be in by next week.
Yes, that's difficult for women to be so clear and so straight. And for us, it's very important, the relationship, yeah, between people. And if this is good, then we can go on. And wasn't it funny how you could see that he was impatient to wait, yeah, for her, because he saw the nail and he became impatient. But she wanted him to listen. And when he listened, she was like, oh, I love you. That feels so good. Yeah. And he was, oh.
Exactly. But you know, Regina, I fully agree with you. So who is going to, if I'm in that issue again, or if, for example, you are in that issue or any other woman, are we as women yield? Are we the ones to say, aha, I have to lead this discussion? Or do I let the man lead the discussion, although he doesn't even know where he's coming from, because he's not going to give me the doors, or he did not give me the doors for almost a year and a half. So it's up to the woman. Am I the captain of my own ship? Am I the captain of the discussion between man and women? Am I as a woman?
Yeah, so that's a big topic.
Yeah.
But today I want to show you one small tool which helps you as a man to react in a good way with the women.
Exactly.
And also this tool helps women, and on the other way around, yeah, the tip and you are here that you can practice this and show how this works.
Yes.
But in advance, the man has to learn to listen.
Yes,
and
yes.
not only be quiet and keep his mouth, because she wants you to give her the feeling that you understand her. And I show you in a minute how that works.
Yes.
And the tip for the women is to acknowledge the man if he wants to help and if he gives us advice, not to say, oh, I don't want to hear that, or you never listen. But first of all, to acknowledge him, to find a solution, because he wants to be her hero and he wants to find a solution because his brain is wired like this. So the tip for the man in this case, but it works also in business and in all other cases, because all human beings love this feeling to be heard, is to first listen till she's finished, and then you, in your words, say what you understood. And it's no matter if you get it right, it's just repeating what you understood, and then she will say, yes, exactly. If it's 200% right, what you said. But if not, she will say, not really. And then she will explain you again. And then you repeat again what you understood. As long as she says, yes, yes. Oh. Yeah. And we try this. So I ask you, Alexandra, to maybe today or an example where you had a little tiny problem, not your life problem, a little tiny thing, what you experienced, and just tell this little story to Nikolai. And Nikolai, your job is just to listen and tell in your words what you understood.
Well, actually, it has to do with my son, Nikolai. Nikolai, it's when I ask you to help me out with a technical issue in Instagram, you seem to get upset, and you what you want me to do is to look it up myself in YouTube how to actually solve that issue. I don't want to do that because I'll be on YouTube all day long, and I know that you have the answer at the tip of your tongue, but you don't deliver that. That's what gets me upset. So does that example work, Regina?
Yeah, that's a problem out of your life. And now it's your turn, Nikolai, to not to answer to that thing, but just to say in your words what you heard.
Okay. So what I understood now from my mother is the following. If Alexandra has an issue and it comes with a question, then she would appreciate it if I just then sit down with her and then solve the issue at hand or give her advice to the question at hand, and not be or getting emotional or requesting that my mother first look for a solution online. Because the male thinking is, if you have an issue, you go.
Okay, so just stop it. Don't interpret. And Alexandra, now your turn is. Did he get 100%? Do you feel understood?
Almost.
What's
Should I say
missing?
what I would have preferred? Should I display what I would have preferred to hear or not?
No, and you
okay.
are in a conversation,
Yes.
and I'm the trainer right now.
Oh, okay.
So next time, if you repeat it, Nikolai, you say, Alexandra, did I get you right? And then you say it. And then she said, yeah, almost. So Alexandra, you answered to him what was the thing he got right and what was missing.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Nikolai, you understood that that I don't want to go and check it out at YouTube, the issues that I have or the questions that I have with regards to Instagram and Facebook, and that I will be that you no sorry how now I'm all confused here, hold on a minute. Yes, okay, so Nikolai, you have actually you've understood it, but you have actually elongated all the sentences that I would have actually preferred for you to say. For example, yes, Alexandra, I have understood that you want me to help you and to solve the issues for you. But however,
okay, and that doesn't mean that you agree to her.
Okay.
Yeah, you just repeat what you understood. So try again.
Okay. So Alexandra, have I understood you correctly? That that if you ask for assistance with the technical issues, that I am there to help you and assist you directly. And if I understood you correctly, just let the emotional side, let it aside, and then also assist you without asking you to previously look on Google. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, now you have understood me, Nikolai.
100%?
I would say yes. Yes.
Okay. And now I was a bit surprised because you took a problem between the two of us, the two of you.
Yeah.
but it's no matter, because then you easily can go into an argument about what is right and what is wrong and so on. But in this exercise, I wanted just to show how to repeat what you understood as
Right.
long till the other one says yes. And in a way, Alexandra says yes, or the women says yes, or
Yeah.
a little bit is missing,
Yes.
and then in the end, yes, you can
Yes.
feel that she has felt so understood by you.
And I agree with you, Regina. The enthusiasm wasn't quite there because I felt that he wasn't happy about having to help me when the time comes.
Yeah.
So you're right. Yes. I would say it's 75%. So we haven't solved the issue yet.
Okay, we try the other way around. So maybe, Nikolai, you have a tiny little problem, but not concerning Alexandra. Maybe with your car or with your studies or with another person, and tell the situation to her. And the exercise for Alexandra is to listen and then to repeat what she understood. And then you go like, yeah, correctly, or yeah, something is still missing.
Is it okay if it's already an issue that has been solved in the past, or does it have to be an issue?
Yeah, it's totally okay.
Yes, I had an issue on the weekend. I replaced a router, and by replacing the router, there was the issue that the telephone lines actually flew out. So I basically sat at this problem, at this issue a long time, and tried to solve it. And Lord and behold, I couldn't find a solution. And so I decided then to call my neighbor up, and then he thankfully came over and assisted me. But until then, I was totally frustrated that I could not solve the issue at hand on my own. Is that a good example, or should
Okay, good. And Alexandra, a little tip, you don't need to tell the whole story. You can put it in shorter sentences.
Okay.
But the important thing is that you deliver how he felt.
Nikolai, have I understood you correctly, or am I understanding you correctly? Is that you were installing the new router and you've had challenges to install not the internet part, but the telephone part, because the telephone lines were not working. And you were so frustrated that you went to your neighbor and asked for help. Is that how you were? Have I understood you correctly?
Yes, you have understood me correctly.
Okay, something missing or 100%?
No, I would say actually 100%.
Ooh, ooh.
Bravo.
And how does it feel if she repeats it?
Okay.
When she repeats it, it feels good. And the good thing is, as you mentioned it before, it's not the long story, it's the short and precise sentences that gives me the feeling not of being understood, but being accepted for what I have done or the challenges that I incurred during this process.
Yeah, and actually it works with men and women, and also not only in private life, but also with in your business. If somebody tells you a problem, you don't need to solve it until somebody asks you to do so. But if you just repeat it, maybe you have to repeat it 2 or 3 times, depends on the topic and how good you are in finding out what's the point, what's the feeling? In this case, it was your frustration. Yeah, what Alexandra pointed out. And when you do so, the other person, if it's your chef or whoever, your secretary or your girlfriend or whoever, feels like, ah, I'm so understood. and this little tool works for both, but it's totally important for men, because then you have an advantage if you can give a woman the feeling that you can understand her, not only solving, and then in the end you can ask her, maybe can I give you an advice, and when she says yes, I want to hear it, then your way is free, you can give her the advice. And also for the women, my tip is, and now I ask you, Alexandra, to do this. If you tell something to a man, first you start with acknowledgement, and then he's open to listen to you. So you spoke to Nikolai about you wanted to help, yeah. But you missed out. Yes. But it wasn't the exercise here, but this is a tip for you. Maybe you would do this again. So please start with an acknowledgement.
Oh, okay. Nikolai, I've noticed that you are an excellent technician, and you always have the right answers every time a technical issue arises. Was that a compliment or not?
Yeah, it was a wonderful acknowledgement, and I feel even more acknowledged or accepted than before. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then when you ask him for help, his ears are more open. And if you just start and say, oh yeah, next time I would like you to help me because I don't want to look it in the internet. Okay, doke.
I have actually forgotten completely to compliment. Every time I ask for a question, I have not complimented. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and actually there's a distinction between compliment.
Yes.
Compliment is something about the outer, you have nice earrings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And between acknowledgement and what works better with men is pointing out what they did, what is helpful for you, or what you admire, what they're doing. So this is working totally well with women. And actually it's working with every human being. But if you are a woman, use acknowledgement because men love it. And maybe if you observed, Nikolai's eyes got sparkling. Okay, doke. So I can't see our live on Bridges of Light. So I ask you, Nikolai, can you see if somebody has a question?
Okay, just give me a second. I have not logged in yet, but I will do it in a second. Excuse me.
Because I also need technical help.
I'm glad to assist. Okay, it's taking a moment. I'm sorry.
No problem. Take your time. So I summarize. So if you want to give the other person the feeling to be understood, just repeat what they said in your words and observe and listen. If the other one says, yeah, or okay, but this and that was missing.
Yeah.
And then again, you repeat it till you hear the stone dropping.
Oh, that's awesome. This is such an awesome tool. Definitely a tool that I will be applying. It's definitely, yeah, it's an opener, and it's also a nice feeling for the other person, I'm sure.
Okay, I currently don't see any questions. We just have comments by Graziella Minardi, who
Ah, hi.
you're wonderful. Women are all Greek drama oriented. And her further comments was, I have learned to talk less with my husband, and it works wonders. Smiley face. Less work and more results. Happy smiley face. And yeah, those were the remarks from Graziella, but currently I don't see any further questions.
Okay, and I know already that Graciela is really good in acknowledgements. Okay, so thank you, Alexandra, for coming in tonight in tonight's live, and as well you, Nikolai, to play the male role, to be the male in this role play.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
And thank you, Edina.
For helping me.
Thank you.
So,
thank you for teaching us. I learned a tool from you. Thank you.
so as every Monday, here we talk about coaching tools and what works between men and women. And if you want to learn more, you can on my website, you can see my book, which is written in English and translated also in English, as well as in German. And if you want to study a bit more about communication, what works between men and women, I'm happy if you read it. So see you next week and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.